Alright, so it is 9:40 and it is the 15th of October. And I want to begin this video talking about a journaling practice that I used to do. Notice how I say I used to do because I learned this from a self-improvement YouTuber like a year ago. And I just remembered it now as I was looking back at my old journal. And what it is you write 3 things that you did wrong today and the 3 things you're going to do tomorrow to make up for it. And I just want to say, like, the video that I just made before this, which was last night, or this morning because I did it at 12 a.m., I was basically talking about how I was going to wake up today and do all my math homework and a bit of my history homework so that I wouldn't have much to do. And this morning I woke up. You want to know how much math homework I did? 0. I did no math homework. And history homework, did no history homework. And Spanish, did no Spanish homework. I did not do any homework. I just went straight to church. That was because I woke up late and I had expected myself to wake up earlier so that I, would have time to do it, even though I was sleeping at 12 a.m. So I don't really know what my logic there. But I'm mentioning this story because so many times you make a plan in your head, right? But one thing goes off in that plan and you're not able to adapt and, continue. As well, something that I do is I have a plan and then some plans comes to the way. Maybe your friends want to hang out with you, something like that. Maybe you're lonely, you just want to go out. And you put off, so you basically procrastinate the things that you should be doing and leave it off so that you can do this fun thing right now. And that is exactly what happened yesterday. Yesterday, I was out and I had math homework that needed to be done, history homework that needed to be done. And, I was doing it. I did one assignment of my math homework. I had 2 more left. And then I kind of was laying in. I took a nap. I was just, being kind of lazy, And, I understood that. So, I started doing it. And then I mentioned to my friends, like, oh, we should go out. And then we started getting into a conversation and FaceTime. And next thing you know, 1 passes, 2 passes, and then, trying to figure everything out. And then, you don't really do anything. And then now it's 5 o'clock. And then we're going to hang out this time. And, bro, so you planning out this whole thing. And then you, get off task. And then now it's the end of the day. You haven't got any work done. And you go out with your friends. And you come back late. And you have to... And then you wake up late as a result of that, and you procrastinate everything more. And what could have been avoided was that in the first place, if you had made a plan to do homework, you did it, no matter if your friends wanted to hang out with you, no matter if this and whatever. And I'm not speaking to you, or, I'm not speaking at you, I'm speaking, with you, even to me. So that's the thing is, that's what I could have done, is just stuck with my plan. And so there's the 3 things that I would say that went wrong today. First, I didn't say what I was going to do, so I didn't keep my word. So I didn't wake up early. And as well, something else that I did wrong today, I would say, would be those 2. And also, I'm trying to think of the last thing. I say in my faith and with God. I would say because today I went to church and stuff like that. And why I'm saying that is because, you kind of fall into these things where you're in and out with God. If you're, somewhere in religion or something like that, it's you fall in these things where you're in and out with God. You're close or you're further away, depending on where you're at in your life. And our main goal is obviously to be close with God always. And when you're in an environment where, you're not always with someone who is talking about God, right? So, let's say, when I hang out with my dad, of course I'm going to be closer with God because my dad is a man of God and talk about God with him. When I hang around, with a friend who's not very close to God and leads me away from God, I'm going to not think about God as much. And that's, now that even saying that out loud, it's kind of makes me rethink of who do I really want to be hanging out with, and how is that having a negative effect on my life in terms of faith, in terms of work, productivity, like FaceTiming and all that kind of stuff, like that's good, right? But we should be doing that after work. So I would say to redirect this video, what 3 things I did wrong today. So going back to that, yeah, so I didn't go on my word, I didn't wake up early, and wasn't in faith, right? I'm not close. I've been drifting further away from God, and that ties, obviously that third one is the most important because it ties into everything in all aspects of life. And I'd say the 3 things what I can do to improve that tomorrow I can wake up early, right, which is the first thing, obviously. And I can wake up, so I start my run at 6:30, and if I can do my Spanish homework, I can finish my Spanish homework and learn my math homework because I was absent. So I need to learn it and learn my math homework from sometime until 6:30. So if I give myself about an hour, I need to wake up at 5:30, and it's 9:45 right now. So I need to wake up early, right? And I actually need to do that homework and do what I say, like mean it, and do those things. So I need to mean what I say when I plan it out, and do it no matter what happens, right? And the last thing is I need to do it for the purpose of getting closer to God. And that's the thing that, I don't really realize most of the time, is because everything that we do in life, if you don't know, has come from God. Like, me doing this math homework, like, where did math come from? Like, yes, it came from man, but who put that man there? Like, who put the ideas in his mind, Like, and obviously not saying math came from one person. I'm saying, like, who has discovered these things and made these concepts. Like, all of that comes from God. The languages come from God. Everything that we know today comes from God and that we're learning. And so when I'm doing it, I think if I shift my mindset, or this is at least what I believe, if I shift my mindset knowing that I'm doing it for God, it'll be a little bit easier on me, because I know there's a purpose for this and that I'm doing it for God. And it says in the book of Romans, it says that all things work in God's purpose, knowing that if I'm doing this, there is a purpose for doing my homework. There is a purpose for waking up early and doing this and getting back on track. Because the worst thing is being behind. I just want to show you my wall. And on my wall, I have the stuff that I need to catch up on. And this is all the stuff that I need to catch up on, not even just like homework, just stuff that I need to catch up on. I have 12 pages of notes that I need to catch up on for history. So it's a lot of things that have been procrastinated, and a lot of things that could have been avoided, and time could have been utilized into getting closer with God, into, furthering a business, into all those kinds of things could have been closer to that. And it is a result of my laziness, and also as a result of the people who I hang out with. Because I noticed that when I hang out with people who push me closer to God, right? People who are smarter than me, and people who work harder than me, right? When I'm surrounded by those people, my life is way better, because, your friend group is focused around that. It actually says in the Bible, it says, a companion of the wise will become wise, but a companion of the fools will suffer harm. And I just want to leave that verse with you, because that's something that I genuinely believe is, impacting on your environment, impacts what you do. And so, which leads me to the question is, like, how can I be sure that I won't fall off again, or I'm not going to fall behind again? And that is, I would say that is, like, and all of this stuff, like, I don't have a script for this. Like, this is just me thinking out loud. But I say, like, how can I make sure I don't fall off, and how do I make sure I don't, like, procrastinate and have all this work again? I say, like, I think it's the people I hang out with. Because if I was to, hang out with people who didn't go out, like, they were studying, and obviously, I can go out, but that's, after I finish my work, of course, then I wouldn't be behind. And not to blame it on other people, but I would say also, like, what I can do for me to make sure I don't get behind in my things and do that is become structured and become, like, foundational. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say, like, this was my plan and this was other people's plans, right? So I gotta stay there, because usually I'm going like this and the other people's plans are coming in the way of me, or I'm putting aside myself for other people. And a message that stuck with me in church today was that the pastor was talking about how when Jesus in Mark, in Jesus in the book of Mark, or in the Gospel of Mark, says, right, the most two important commandments, right, is one, acknowledge that God is one, right? So love God first, and then love, God with all your heart, soul, and mind. That's like what a reference to, but also what it says, like talking about loving your neighbor as yourself. And a lot of people, this is what my pastor was saying, a lot of people think loving your neighbor as yourself means you love your neighbor before yourself. But if you don't learn how to love yourself first, how can you love your neighbor? Because you're loving neighbor as yourself. That's what stuck with me, because like, okay, am I loving myself if I can't, clean up my room? And like, how can I love another person but I can't first like look after my room? How can I help other people with school, but I'm over here slacking and procrastinating, right? So first comes, how do I take care of myself? And that comes with another chapter in Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules of Life, where he talks about how you need to treat yourself like someone worth taking like responsibility for, like you need to take responsibility for. And so I need to take responsibility for myself and treat myself as, basically, I would say is loving yourself, you know what I mean? Having this bit of self-respect, because in that, feeling for my future self, doing things to make it easier on my future self. And so tomorrow is going to end this video because I want to get as much sleep as possible. I'm going to have to sacrifice some sleep tomorrow. But tomorrow, if I want, so this is only if I want, but it's really what I need. So if I want tomorrow or Tuesday, so let's talk about my future self. If I want myself in Tuesday to be proud of myself, right? So to love myself more, to be proud of myself. If I want myself on Tuesday to be, have a less workload and to use that time, right, to develop my business and filming different restaurants and stuff like that. I talked about that before. Use that, and then also use that time to study, to improve on myself in better grades, and actually like start, instead of having to catch up and keep steady, branch out and go towards things that I'm not even in school for, like SAT and that kind of stuff like that. So if I wanted to do that by Tuesday, so let's say that my Tuesday self starts thinking about that, that means that tomorrow I must finish all of this. So 12 pages of notes, a 4.3 classwork homework, so it's part of my math thing, and something for my Spanish. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but for one day plus the homework of tomorrow, it is going to be a lot of work, and I might have to sacrifice tomorrow's sleep as well. But that's only if I want to make it easier on myself and have a better future. And why am I doing this? I just want to say like the purpose. I'm going to just say the purpose why I'm doing this. So I know in my heart, because if you know in the Bible, it talks about how faith is by the word, hearing. So, you can speak death and life into your life. So I'm going to choose to speak life right now. I'm going to say the purpose of me doing this is so that I can get closer to God, and in the process, right, make more time to enjoy with my family, my friends, and, right, pave a amazing life for my wife and for my kids. And that's the most important thing. Like, I think what is so beautiful is, like, even though that I'm 16 years old, the things that I'm working on now, like, it doesn't seem like it's getting towards, like, let's say I don't do those assignments on the board. I'll tell you this, it won't have much of an impact, right? But it will have a significant impact if I didn't do a wide span of assignments in my school year, right, in my life. And it might prevent me from getting into the Air Force Academy, which might prevent me, right, from, becoming successful and being able to, provide for my family and, you know, develop a bunch of experiences I would have never had before. So I'll say this work I'm doing now is so that I may help my wife and my kids, and so that I may spend more time with God and my friends and family and have a more happy life. As well, to get a car, because if I finish this, do good grades, I'm hoping that, you know, maybe my hard work will pay off and I'll be able to get a car because I'll been working for my job. But I don't want to yap too much. That's all my message that I have for today. I'm gonna upload the video right now, and then tomorrow I'm gonna see how it went. But tomorrow I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna give myself. Let me think. I'm thinking out loud here, but how much time do I need? So I would say for the assignments I'm gonna do tomorrow, I need about. Okay, let's see. So if I'm gonna finish my Spanish thing, it's gonna take, let's say, most like 20 minutes to learn my math homework, do some of the classwork. How long is that gonna take? Say, okay, to learn it, max 15 minutes or 35 minutes. Homework, classwork and homework, it's gonna take another hour, but to give myself most time, I'll get up at 5:30. So I'm gonna get up at 5:30 tomorrow. It's gonna be some sacrifice, but I'm gonna have to do it if by Tuesday I want to start thinking about my future and develop myself into a greater man. So that's all I have right now. See you.